in the silence before dawn, before the hum of cities, before the wheels of empire turned with their grinding steel, there was a whisper of truth, fragile yet eternal, like a flame refusing to die in the wind. His name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, born not into power, not into war, but into prayer. A man who would shake the world, not by raising his fist, but by lowering his voice. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. Mahatma Gandhi. The 19th century was a restless beast. The British Empire had wrapped its iron chains around continents, and India, the jewel of the crown, lay still, wounded, divided, and quiet. But beneath that quiet, something was stirring. This is not the story of rebellion. It is the story of awakening, a story not of noise, but of listening, not of violence, but of a fire that burns without consuming. This is the pilgrimage of a soul, from fear to faith, from weakness to wisdom, from a single human heart to the conscience of an entire civilization. Gandhi's journey begins in the silence of devotion, in the small town of Porbandar, where a boy learns that truth is not spoken, but lived. October 2nd, 1869, Porbandar, Gujarat. The sky is pale gold, the ocean murmurs softly, and in a modest house, a child opens his eyes to the rhythm of prayer. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, son of Karamchand Gandhi, a man of duty, and Putlibai, a woman of infinite faith. From his mother he learned purity, from his father discipline, and from silence he learned truth. My life is my message. He watched his mother fast, not out of ritual, but as a dialogue with the divine. He saw kindness toward animals, humility in daily acts, and the sacred woven into the simplest threads of life. Yet the boy was not without doubt. He was shy, painfully so, afraid of the dark, afraid of ghosts, afraid of the unknown shadows of his own mind. But fear, as he would later learn, is only the beginning of courage. At 13, Gandhi was married, accustomed not of love but of tradition, to Kastabai, who would become his silent companion, his teacher in patience, his mirror in humility. He was still a child, yet expected to act like a man, confused, curious, restless. He began his lifelong struggle between body and spirit, desire and discipline. He read stories of King Harishchandra, the legendary monarch who never lied, and vowed, "I too will live by truth." Little did he know that vow would one day reshape nations. But truth, like light, first blinds before it illuminates, and to find it, he would have to leave home, to cross oceans, to face himself in the mirror of the modern world. The boy from Gujarat steps onto a ship bound for England. The sea stretches endlessly, and with it, the question, who am I? London, the empire's beating heart, men in black coats and monocles, streets lit by gas lamps and souls clouded by fog. He came to study law, but more than the law of man, he was seeking the law of being. In small rented rooms, Gandhi boiled vegetables, read sacred texts, and walked alone in Hyde Park, feeling the cold rain against his skin. He tried to become English, tried to fit in, to wear the suit, to learn the manners, to hide the brown skin beneath European decorum. Yet, the mirror never lied. He was neither fully Indian nor English. He was something in between, a seeker without a country. I claim to be a simple individual liable to err like any other fellow mortal, but I have humility enough to confess my errors and to retrace my steps. Through vegetarian societies and spiritual debates, he discovered the writings of Tolstoy, Thoreau, and the Bhagavad Gita. In those pages he found his compass, not in power but in purity, not in victory but in virtue. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. By the time his ship left for South Africa, he was no longer just a lawyer. He was a pilgrim. Pietermaritzburg Station, 1893. A young Indian lawyer sits quietly in a first-class compartment. The door opens. A white man scowls. Coolies don't belong here. Thrown out into the freezing night, Gandhi stands alone on the platform, his heart burning, his soul trembling. My active non-violence begins from this hour. That moment, humiliation, rage and pain did not turn him into a rebel. It turned him into a seeker of power beyond violence. He organized, he spoke, he suffered. He learned that dignity is not given, it is realized. From the depths of racial hatred, he forged a weapon of the spirit, satyagraha, the force of truth. He wrote letters, led protests, faced prison, and discovered that courage is not absence of fear, but mastery of it. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. In Tolstoy Farm, he built a community of equality and simplicity. People of different races lived as one, bound not by color, but by conscience. And when he prayed, he felt the world tremble softly beneath his bare feet. He had seen the ugliness of empire, but also the beauty of the human soul. South Africa became his crucible, his fire of transformation. And when he returned to India, he carried with him not anger, but a light. Gandhi steps off the train at Sabarmati. India, vast, ancient, broken, the land of his birth, calls him home. He walks among the poor, lives with the farmers, weaves his own cloth. To many, he seems mad, a man who speaks of love to those crushed by empire. But to those who listen, he awakens something older than fear, the voice of conscience. The future depends on what we do in the present. He refuses wealth, eats simple meals, spins thread upon the charkha, the spinning wheel, the symbol of resistance, of self-reliance, of a nation reclaiming its soul. The Salt March of 1930, 240 miles of dust, sweat, and prayer. A pilgrimage of truth, each step echoing through centuries of silence. When I despair, I remember that all through history the way of truth and love has always won. And as thousands join him, the world begins to see that power does not only dwell in armies, but in the courage of the barefoot. When Gandhi bent down to lift salt from the sea, it was not just salt he lifted, it was the dignity of a people. Freedom came closer, but with it came the shadow of hate. India was tearing itself apart. Hindu against Muslim, brother against brother. The peace he had fought for began to slip away. An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind. Gandhi's greatest battles were no longer against the British, but against despair. He fasted, prayed and wept. Each fast was a cry for the soul of humanity, each prayer a bridge between divided hearts. His body grew frail, but his presence filled the world with silence, a silence louder than any speech. There is no path to peace. Peace is the path. Partition, the birth of India and Pakistan, cut him to the core. He watched as millions fled, as rivers ran red, and yet he still chose forgiveness. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. He walked among ruins and ashes, holding only his staff and his faith. And though the bullets would later find him, they could never touch what he had become. January 30th, 1948, New Delhi. The man in white walks slowly, prayer beads in hand. He greets the crowd with folded palms. A shot rings out, the body falls. Hey Ram, the silence that follows is eternal, but Gandhi does not die. Because truth does not die, because love cannot be killed. He became the still voice in every act of compassion, every stand for justice, every whisper that says, there is another way. Where there is love, there is life. His life was not perfect, it was human, profoundly, painfully human, but that is what made it divine. And so we end, not in sorrow, but in remembrance, that one person's conscience, when aligned with truth, can illuminate an entire world. If this story moved you, if Gandhi's light still glows in your heart, remember to share this flame, like this video, subscribe for more journeys into the souls that shaped humanity, and carry with you his eternal whisper, "Be the change."